Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We're going to get started at the top of the hour. We'll be going through Dick Longoria and myself. We'll have a short discussion today about DELMIAworks, SolidWorks, and the 3D Experience platform. So welcome, and we'll get started at the top of the hour. Thanks. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today on today's webinar. My name is Earl Haas, and I'm joined today with myself with Dick Longoria.
Hello everybody.
Dick and I have been part of the SolidWorks community for, I think since the beginning, and each of us have seen an evolution of what the offer is from SolidWorks, from a core CAD tool to the array of products that we have today. And today we're going to take a look at some of the manufacturing tools that are now available to us, courtesy of Dassault Systèmes and the SolidWorks development team. So, Dick, I'm going to let it get you started, and we'll go from there.
All right, fantastic. Well, hello again, everybody. As Earl mentioned, we're going to get started with a digital manufacturing and design webinar featuring SolidWorks, DELMIAworks, and 3D Experience platform. You know, more now than ever before, companies are looking to digital manufacturing and design to transform their businesses. And there's a number of issues driving this sense of urgency. COVID is certainly on the list, with more people working from home or conducting business remotely. And at the same time as manufacturing is flooding back to the United States, companies are looking to gain greater visibility to what's actually happening on the manufacturing floor to better understand and control costs, increase productivity, and improve competitiveness. Digital manufacturing is a large topic, so today we're going to focus on just a few areas and show you how you can use DELMIAworks MES or Manufacturing Execution System to gather data in real time, giving you visibility to operations on the manufacturing floor, calculate overall equipment effectiveness in real time, and see its impact on scheduling, inventory, and ultimately customer satisfaction. We'll also show you how to leverage your SolidWorks engineering bill of material to drive bills of material in DELMIAworks, and use the 3D Experience platform to collaborate more effectively with both your internal and external stakeholders. You know, first, a little background. Dassault Systèmes is known as the 3D Experience company. We are purpose-driven, and we think of progress in terms of balance and impact. We are comprised of 20,000 passionate people from 140 nationalities, sharing the same passion for innovation as our large R&D team, which is connected across 69 laboratories worldwide. We continually partner with customers who are leaders in their industries on the cutting edge of technology, and we find these leaders everywhere. They are startups, small, mid-range, and large manufacturers alike. Our 12,600 partners expand our knowledge and reach in the areas of technology, sales and services, education, and research. And most importantly, our view is driven by a long-term strategy and long-term investment, enabling us to remain one step ahead of the competition. We have the profound belief that the virtual world extends and improves the real world, because in the virtual world, we can simulate and evaluate impacts before ever producing the product itself. So we are driven to develop technologies that inspire and assist our customers to ideate, create, design, validate, and manufacture the highest quality products more cost effectively and efficiently than ever before. And we have a record of success that we can make this happen. We have been the catalyst and enabler of the world's greatest industrial transformations. Every decade, we have helped manufacturers to disrupt how products are designed and made, and to rethink the entire development and production process and methodology. It's hard to believe, but it was nearly 40 years ago today, not today necessarily, but 40 years ago that we first introduced 3D design to represent the surface of things. 30 years ago, we pioneered 3D digital mockup. And in 1997, we acquired SolidWorks, and for the first time, we made 3D solid modeling affordable for every engineer's desktop. In 2012, the 3D Experience platform came to life. And more recently, in 2018, we acquired DELMIAworks to manage the business of manufacturing. You know, virtual worlds are fantastic to talk about, and they promise us all a very bright future. But today we're going to take a more tactical approach to solving the challenges of mainstream manufacturing, because the brute force method to increasing capacity is time consuming and expensive. And you all know how this works. We acquire more floor space, buy more machines, and hire more people to operate them. But floor space and machines are very expensive. And on top of that, for manufacturing in particular, there's a skilled labor shortage. Industry experts state that US manufacturing has 4.5 million new jobs to fill over the next 8 to 10 years. It's expected that 2.5 million, more than half of those jobs, will be left unfilled. For this reason and many, many more, manufacturers clearly understand the value of digital manufacturing and design to increase capacity, lower costs, and increase efficiencies. So when a company goes down the path of digital manufacturing, they do it with very high expectations. And they should, because the results our customers report are significant. As you look at this slide, 60% growth without additional hires, up to 50% reduction in engineering time, 75% reduction in downtime, 66% reduction in scrap, and 50% improvement in product availability, and the list goes on and on. DELMIAworks customers are experiencing transformational changes that make them more competitive, more responsive, and definitely more profitable. So where are we today? The typical manufacturing company uses several applications to conduct business every day. In the front office, you have CRM for customer management and sales, some sort of ERP. And when companies are young, this ERP could be QuickBooks, Excel, or homegrown systems. In engineering, you're using SolidWorks for design and validation, CAM for programming machines or robotics, and maybe PDM or other design tools. On the manufacturing floor, you have machines, work cells, and production lines running, connected to PLCs and manufacturing-related servers displaying information on HMIs or human machine interfaces. And as you can see, there is a lot of information in this entire ecosystem, but all of these systems are disconnected. And this disconnect is a barrier to growth, greater efficiencies, and lower production costs. As an example, what happens when a customer asks if you can produce 10,000 widgets in a day? How do you know if you can do it? Well, you have to know several things for sure. You need to know your current inventory and if you have raw materials. You need to know your current schedule, and you need to know your overall production capacity, which raises several questions. What's tracking my inventory and raw materials? Can I squeeze a rush job into my schedule? And how do I determine overall production capacity anyways? So let's take a look at how data and information flows in the typical manufacturing environment. This is a simplified version of how the typical manufacturing company operates, and it illustrates the challenges we have with data and information. Over here in the front office, you have your ERP, CRM, inventory, warehousing, and shipping applications. Design and engineering lives over here, typically disconnected from the front office and from the manufacturing floor. In fact, we visit customers all the time who have SolidWorks open on one screen, their ERP, Excel, and email open on another, and they work back and forth as necessary as part of their daily routine. Meanwhile, over here on the manufacturing side of the house, out here on the edge, we have machines and work cells. These machines likely have sensors grabbing performance information that is fed into the PLCs or manufacturing related servers, displayed on the HMIs, so plant supervisors or operators can monitor performance. And if you have MES, this is where it resides. And herein lies the problem. There is a complete disconnect between the front office and manufacturing. The entire business is running without ERP having any real-time visibility to what's actually occurring on the manufacturing floor. And manufacturing is running without any real-time input from ERP. So when that customer asks for those 10,000 widgets in 10 days, you do not have access to all of the information you need to accurately quote that customer. So what do? You call for help. You call one or more people for help running down inventory, raw materials, and then you use your best guess experience to estimate a delivery date. But what if there's scheduled maintenance on a machine that will affect the schedule and you don't have visibility to that information? What if materials that show in inventory in the front office are actually at a work cell being cut? What if you plan to insert this rush job to push back another, but there's a penalty for delivering the other job late? And by the way, how do you even know how to measure production capacity? Well, one good measure of production capacity comes from OEE, or overall equipment effectiveness. OEE comes from MES, from a system like DELMIAworks. Now, this measurement is a combination of machine availability times quality of parts times machine performance. Availability means that when a plant is up and running, what percent of the time is the machine available? Anything below 100% indicates that the machine has unplanned downtime. If this number is low, you probably need to speak to your machine builder, an OEM, or potentially your maintenance team. Quality is equal to the percent of good parts that are made. If part quality is low and we're producing a lot of scrap, we might have bad tooling, poor raw materials, or poor engineering. Machine performance is a measure of actual performance compared to an expected standard. So if the machine is expected to produce 1,000 widgets an hour, did we produce 1,000, or did we get 750, 850, or some other number? An OEE score of 85% is considered world-class performance. In discrete manufacturing, 60% OEE is common, leaving lots of room for improvement. And for companies who do not measure OEE or are just getting started, 40% is normal. So if you're not using MES and your actual OEE is 40% or below, you could literally double your production capacity by adding MES technology. So what's the solution? How can we digitally transform, connect our systems, and use technology to solve efficiency and capacity challenges? Well, the good news is that you already have a head start. With SolidWorks, you already have a digital foundation to build upon. The solution is a unified collaborative environment that synchronizes operations from the front office to engineering to the manufacturing floor, providing real-time information to everyone who needs it when they need it. This is what DELMIAworks, SOLIDWORKS, and the 3D Experience platform provides. DELMIAworks eliminates data silos. It is a unique combination of ERP, MES, CRM, warehouse management, and more, all rolled into one unified solution. We can take data generated from the edge, from those sensors on those machines, directly into our MES and ERP. We calculate OEE in real time, and production capacity is synchronized with scheduling, raw materials, and inventory. So when that customer asks for 10,000 widgets in 10 days, we know immediately how long it will take to produce them. So let's turn it over to Earl to show you how we communicate from SOLIDWORKS to DELMIAworks, gather data in real time from the edge to monitor, manage, and drive organizational efficiencies and improve decision-making.
All right, thanks, Dick. Let me go ahead and take this on. In fact, I'm going to, just to give us additional real estate, I'm going to turn off my camera. Dick, you can go ahead and do the same. All right, so let's have a look at just what is Dick talking about with respect to all of this content. So I'm going to start off having a look a little bit. We're going to follow the design journey, as it were, from design to manufacture of this artificial leg from Biodapt. It's a leg that is used for the active outdoors person who is an amputee, but is also has an active lifestyle, motorcycling, cycling, skiing, whatever it may be. This is an active leg that people would work with. Okay, so let's have a look at how that all fits together. And I'm going to start off in SolidWorks here, and you know, with SolidWorks, we've had, as I mentioned at the beginning here, we've all seen SolidWorks really build up over the years and has gotten a lot of really good, rich content, a lot of rich data available to us. The tools that we have is fantastic, and what we'd like to be able to do is to leverage that content, not just in the engineering space, but also throughout our organization, from design to manufacture to customer service and beyond. So what we're going to do is have a look at how we might go about that. And while we could always manage our files in a file folder or with other tools, Dassault Systems has given us a tool through the 3D Experience platform to allow us to manage and control our files up on the cloud. And by doing that, we can see that we have the same tree structure from the engineering point of view as we do here in the file. And ultimately, we're going to have a look at, we're going to follow this portion of the leg, the calf leg, as it were, and see where it takes us within the context of the platform. So I'm going to go into in this space then. One area, once I've put that content out onto the 3D Experience platform, now I have the opportunity to communicate with my colleagues across the organization. We can have a discussion about where we are with the design cycle. For example, if I bring in that calf into my viewer here, I have ready access to interact with the calf, whether it be myself as being the engineer or myself as being the in marketing or in production or wherever I have ready access to this. And if I care to share content or information to my colleagues, I can do so through just simply publishing through the through the tools that we have at hand. So let's go with CAV. Looks ready to be shipped. So I can go ahead and publish that. And now I've made this available to my colleagues, so that everyone in the organization has the opportunity to see exactly what's going on. They can comment on that, make changes, or add some markups, whatever makes sense in the context of that space. Now, if I change hats here, and now that it's ready to go into production, I need to set it up for production itself. Right? At this point, I have an assembly tree that makes sense to me, the engineer, but not necessarily to manufacturing. So, for example, I may want to have this in the context of a manufacturing bill of manufacture. And so, looking at this assembly, then, if I take a look at it, I might want to assemble one side at a time and really just build that up. So let's have a look at just a couple of different areas. So we'll take a couple of things. This will be the final assembly. We're assembling those last bits, and as I want to go and build the right side. Perhaps because there isn't a sub-assembly just yet, I can go ahead and create a virtual assembly. So let's go with, let's say 18, let's go 1853. We're going to do the left side, the right side rather. So we'll go ahead and create this guy, add that right side in, and we'll just go ahead and close that. Now that I've got this in place, let me go ahead and grab a couple of the right-hand side elements to that. So we've got those two elements. We'll go ahead and drag those in. And as I said, what I'm doing here is simply pulling together all of the components that are represented in that side of the leg. Where are you? The last one here is always challenging. There we go. So we'll go ahead and add those over to this file. So now I have the definition for that right side, which is great. But at the same time, I have I've already got this the other side done, and so the 3D Experience platform gives me the opportunity to do some of these to do some searches to obtain other information throughout wherever it happens to have been. And so we'll go ahead and grab the left-hand side of that same leg and just add it as an instance to this. Again, we're building up the tree that represents that model. And I'll just go ahead and grab the last thing as a hardware kit. So the nice thing about this is because I'm grabbing it as a hardware kit, I know that when I go to create go to manufacture this, a work order will be put in place to pull together the hardware that finishes up that assembly. And so this simple tree then gives me the full assembly in the assembly in the manufacturing process format. Now, if I ever have a change to this assembly tree, as the production engineer, I'll get a notification that I need to update my tree accordingly, courtesy of the 3D Experience platform. So this is great. This is gives me into a position now that I can go ahead and send this guy off to DELMIAworks and my production tools over here. And we'll switch gears here to go from working in the 3D Experience platform specifically to DELMIAworks. So now that we have that put into place and is ready to go into DELMIAworks, I can go ahead and bring that in and have it be available to me here in DELMIAworks, where again, searching on that 1853 calf leg, I have now the inventory defined within my production environment. And at the moment, I have 140 on hand, but I can look at my manufacturing process and to see exactly what the process steps are going to be for setting up that manufacturing. And so because it's being done in the context of that MBOM that I put together, naturally it stands to reason that I'd want to have that same setup, that same environment. So DELMIAworks is giving me now, in the same basic process, the assembly of that calf, the right side and the left side of the calf with the hardware that's required, the components that were needed for that tree, as well as the final elements that needed to go into that assembly. So I can see what steps are going to be pulled together for my routing. So when I go to get a work order to fabricate these calves, then I'll also know that I have a work order for each of the sides of those calves as well. So I can keep track of and follow along that process. And in fact, if I go into that bill tree, it will also tell me exactly how many items I need for each of those, for each segment, and including the left and the right. So we're accounting for the same basic information all the way through. So I can capture that information, and as I've built up the tree, I'm also identifying how much time it's taking to set up the process for performing the operation, so I can tell the system, tell the MRP engine exactly what's required to set up, to do the work, and then to break down the setup. And it's telling me that it's going to take me about I can get 30 cycles in an hour. Okay, so it take at 2 minutes per calf. This is great. Okay, so we've have this information in DELMIAworks. We know what the production is. Now's the time to send it down to the production floor. And down on the floor, again, putting on my hat of being an operator at a given work center, I would log into the system in this manner, where I would then start to see exactly which job I'm currently working on. How many more of these calves do I need to put together for this particular work order? And then what's my next work order? What's that one going to be once I finish these calves, assuming that I might have different setups each during the course of the day. Now, if I have any questions, I can always go in and open up the documents for that particular work order and obtain that information directly. If I have any rejects, perhaps there was some kind of quality issue I notified, I can open up the rejects and actually report those rejects as we go through this. And equally, when I'm done, I can identify exactly how the production's going on. Now, by going through this process, I'm filling out and providing information back to my ERP system and my MES software. So by going through that within production, and now if I go back out to the customer center and I'm taking orders in at the front office, I can come into my my sales orders and have a look at what orders I have open at a given time. If I go through and search on, if I get a call from Acme doesn't have anything. Let's look for. Let's go ahead and create. Yeah, Abco. Why not? We'll grab Abco's here. Select their work order or sales order. And as we're doing this, the system is, again, we're going back to the same database that's interacting with that production was interacting with. Now the customer service representatives is looking through this, and perhaps I'm getting I've received a call from Abco in looking to add in another an order for these calves, right? So if I fill that out and select select this item to be sold, doesn't make sense in this particular case, but we'll follow this process through, this thought process all the way through here. Let's say Abco is looking for another 100 calves, and they'd like to have them by the end of the week. This is great. So what I'd like to do though is identify, can I deliver that? Is it possible to deliver that order? Whoops, I didn't get that the item in recorded. So let's go ahead and do that again. Get 100. We'll save that off so that we get it into the system. So let's go ahead and calculate that. All right, so it looks like, because we're ordering it for the end of the week, it actually looks like we're not going to be able to deliver that on time. And so let's find out when we can deliver this order, or what is it that's causing the order to take so much time. and what's happening is we're actually seeing that the order it actually may take more time to get it in. In fact, it's saying that we won't be able to ship it or get it out to the customer until the 15th of November. So we've got some time. We're going to have to identify, can we ship it or not? If not, when is the earliest can we ship it? And this is all looking at exactly what is our current schedule, what's the production, what's the lead time of the materials that we need for that particular order. So all of this is coming into us directly, where I don't have to put the phone down and schedule a meeting to find out if I can deliver this. I have information ready at my fingertips to give my customer ready, up-to-date information about exactly what's going on with their order and how does that fit in with everything else. And of course, in the process of doing that, I can look back to my schedule and see what's actively running, what's not running, which orders are on time, which orders are late, which machines which work centers are actually up and running at a given time. So this is all given to us at our fingertips, ready to go. Now, from a production point of view, I can come back and look at how my plant is running. How is it operating? And looking at this particular dashboard, I can see which machines are running, which are within the cycle time that we've set up, which ones are down that are yellow. If they're running too fast, I get notification there. I can find out, identify, is that the right amount of time, or is it something that we need to have a look at? Why are we running fast? Why are we running slow? Which machines are down, which machines are up? And if we, to the point that Dick made, earlier as far as having ready access to our OEE, our overall efficiency numbers. In this case, as you can see, my efficiency numbers at 63%. But then this is a demo data set database. I've got a lot of different work centers, a lot of things going on. Perhaps some of this could be cleaned out to be closer to reality for what's going on. But you can get an idea. I mean, you can see I'm just simply not using a lot of the machines at 41% utilization. So it's understandable. From a sales point of view, I have ready access to information that tells me which orders are near or could be a problem. I have ready access to that information. I can see how my sales numbers are going directly to that operation. And if I have any EDI orders, where are they at? What's come in from my EDI customers? Finally, from a quality point of view, I can see I have access to information about which workflows are opened up, what machines do I have to have a look at, which work orders are generating rejects, so I can have ready information to understand exactly what do I need to do in front of my my production to adjust production or otherwise. Right, so this is just an overview here of how do I take this information from my project and send it over to production and run it through production and actually follow the process of how is production operating during the course of my machines. So let me stop my particular section here and hand it back over to Dick here.
All right, thank you, Earl. We will hop back in. So when we think about why DELMIAworks, well, first and foremost, results. You know, as we shared earlier in the presentation, customers are achieving significant results and those results are having a direct impact on costs, capacity, competitiveness, and profitability. Secondly, Dassault Systèmes has been an innovation leader for decades, and the business of manufacturing is our business. And the combination of SolidWorks, DELMIAworks, and 3D Experience Platform makes digital manufacturing a reality for mainstream manufacturers by connecting the front office to engineering to manufacturing with real-time visibility to operations. And I want to note here that this entire webinar has been presented on the 3D Experience platform using an application called 3D Lean. This app allows you to collaborate internally with team members and colleagues or externally with customers, vendors, and suppliers. It allows you to capture critical input or information during meetings, which can be easily converted into action items and projects, complying with lean principles and methodologies. The 3D Experience platform allows you to create custom dashboards to display performance information in real time, and it's accessible from anywhere on any device. The 3D Experience platform is full of incredible technology like 3D Lean, and these apps are for all departments within the organization, extending way beyond engineering and manufacturing. Okay, so let's open it up to some questions. And you should be able to type some questions in the chat box. Give a second for folks to respond. Okay, the first question. You showed how to create an MBOM in the cloud. Is there another way to go from SolidWorks to DELMIAworks?
That's a good question there, Dick. Can you stop your meeting portion so I can take over?
I sure can.
Here?
I sure can.
Awesome.
There you go.
Great, great. So let me just step back here one moment here. So yeah, that's a great question. So in SolidWorks here, we have I used the 3 Experience platform, the connector that we have that allows me to interact with the files directly. But in the context of DELMIAworks, there is a connector that goes directly into that. So I can be on direct on-premise and in operating within my own clients, where I still have that same connection to my information. So it's just a matter then of taking that and mapping those files into DELMIAworks to attain the same kind of structure. Now, I am going to do a little bit more steps in here where in the platform here I had the ability to define that manufacturing BOM separate from the EBOM. I'm going to be doing some of that process once I get back into DELMIAworks when I'm away from it, but nonetheless, I still have the ability to capture all of that information directly in my direct connector with DELMIAworks. The platform simply gives me a good way of getting that directly into it.
Okay. Thank you, Earl. We've got another question. How does the system handle inventory? Are purchase orders generated and sent through DELMIAworks?
Yeah, that's a good question here. How do we get the inventory? So in this process, I generated this is a PO from ABCO, and once that becomes an approved PO, then the system then goes through, and as a manufacturing engineer, I would update, I either have it get done automatically or occur throughout periodically through the day or manually. I would go in and regenerate or have the MRP engine run. And what it's going to do is it's going to look at all of the orders that are outstanding, and let me just go ahead and go into that. It'll go into and see what orders are out there and generate a work order for each of those items. And in fact, we'll obtain a list of what materials are required, and so then purchasing can see what materials that they have to order at any given time. So in my material exception list here, you can see that currently I have an 80 I have an exception of 80 D sub connector screws. So I'm going to have to purchase at least 80 of those to be ready for whatever work orders that are in my current schedule. So I could go ahead and add those to my order, and add those to a PO, get them out on order, and be on their way on time. And so that's where that capable to promise comes in, where I know what inventory is missing, what needs to be coming in. And as work orders generate, or as I disposition content or new components, I'll then backflush those items out of inventory into completed work order.
Okay, and that second question, the second follow-up, I gave you 2 questions at once, Earl. The second question is, are purchase orders generated and sent through DELMIAworks?
Yes, that's exactly where we'll manage this. I mean, this is an all-encompassing tool that for manufacturing. So I can the POs for the purchased inventory can be managed and then followed through to when it gets when I receive the inventory from my vendors. I can keep track of what the lot numbers are, know exactly when it's been received, where that inventory has been moved from one location to another, so that I can keep track of that from all the way in and through the manufacturing process till that final finished good is shipped out the door, and we can keep track of that information throughout.
Okay, thank you. And another question, do I have to work on the cloud?
I have to work on the cloud. That you don't have to work on the cloud. DELMIAworks actually has an on-premise solution that allows us to work directly in the within our environment. But as I mentioned, once we get into using some of the 3D experience tools that gives us interaction with the different departments, that actually expands and enriches our overall solution.
All right. Let's see if we have any additional questions come in. And that looks like the final question, Earl.
All right, very good.
Well, thank you. Well, for everybody, thank you very much. We really appreciate your attendance today. If you have any questions, you can reach out to either Earl Haas or myself or your local certified DELMIAworks partner. And we'll pop up those contact information real quick, like right here.
There you go.
All right. Thanks once again, everybody, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.